Hello, Vimeo members. Welcome back to Vimeo Video School's Windows Movie Maker tutorials. I'm Seth Wharton, and in this tutorial, we're going to be talking about using the built-in visual effects and themes that come with Movie Maker. Throughout these videos, we've been working on this project. We've got this couple who are going to spend the day in New York, and we start off with them introducing the video. They're about to catch the train into Manhattan. Then they go to the museum and go ice skating, and then we end with them eating hot dogs outside on the High Line at sunset. Is there anything more New York than eating hot dogs outside in winter? I don't think there is. So we want to use some of the built-in themes and effects. And what is a theme? Well, if we go back up here to our Home tab in the ribbon, you'll see this section here, Auto Movie Themes. And what these do is they apply a sort of consistent style or look to your project. Sometimes it's a graphic element like this title here. Sometimes it's these kind of swoops along the side that are transparent with a little particle system. Sometimes it's just an overall color, like turning your whole project black and white or sepia. But it's a quick and easy way to give a consistent look to the entire video. So I like this theme because I like the way that the title here fades up slowly and enlarges before fading out again. So I'm going to add this theme, and notice that when I do that, I get this title screen with a title that I can edit. If I double click here, I can add a day in the city. And then I can pull this out so it's all on one line, and then grab it and center it. But notice that the theme automatically pre-added or pre-installed credits at the end. That's really nice because that means I can just go in and edit the type, and my credits are already there and they're already scrolling. So that's great. That saves me a lot of trouble of having to go in and like one by one add my credits in. But here's the thing. I don't want this black screen behind my title. I want my title to fade up over my footage, maybe here after they introduce the video so that it fades up over them on the subway. So if I grab my title, I can drag it down here and I can drop it where I want it to start. And then I can go back and right click on this black frame and remove it. And let's see how this looks now.
We just got to New York, about to take a bus to Manhattan. I hope you like this video. See you later. This was a great day in New York City, riding the subway.
Okay, that's great. I like that. I like that they introduce the video and then the title comes up as they're getting on the subway. So that's what a theme does. It adds a particular style and look. And in this case, this theme added a particular style to the type and duplicated it here at the end, pre-populating my project with my credits. Now, we want to add some visual effects. We want to stylize the look of some of our clips. We touched on visual effects in the previous episode because we were adding some transitions and fades that were part of the visual effects set, but we want to go into a little more detail. Okay, so I've selected a clip here, and in this clip they're going ice skating at Rockefeller Center. They're putting on their skates, going out into the ice, and we want to stylize this. I'm going to make all of the ice skating footage black and white, and that's going to make it sort of nostalgic and maybe give it like a mid-century film look. So I'll select all of my ice skating shots from here down to here, and then I'm going to go up to my Visual Effects tab, and I'm going to select this black and white here. It's called Black and White Red Filter. There are a few different black and whites here. They're based on color filters that give different depth to the black, and I'm going to choose this. You might choose a different one. And so now all of my skating shots are black and white. And this kind of gives it, like I said, this nostalgic or maybe mid-century film look. But look at this clip right here. These few frames, when his face comes into frame, it's really washed out. Not a lot of tone in his face, and so it's totally flat there, and there are no features discernible. So I'm going to split this clip. Right before his face comes into frame, I'll split it, and then I'll scrub down to just after he's out of frame and split it again just to isolate that portion. And now I've got this portion in the center as its own clip. This is the section that I think is too washed out, and I can go and edit it without affecting the other clips in that sequence. So one of the first things I can do is I can go back up to my visual effects tab, and I can lower the brightness using the brightness slider to try to darken it up, maybe give a little more tone to his face. We'll see how that looks. But you might notice that there's a really discernible shift there. When we go from the preceding clip or the preceding frame to that point, it gets noticeably darker. It's sudden, and I don't want that. I want it to seem smooth. Let's try fixing that by putting a transition between them. We'll go back to animations, and we'll put a crossfade between those two clips. And I'll do the same thing at the end. I'll put a crossfade between the clip that I just dimmed or darkened up and the clip after it. You get a little overlap since the clips are fading from one to the next, but that's okay. I could make that really short, but I don't really mind that. I'm more interested right now in making the color shift elegant and not abrupt. And while now the transitions are smooth, I still don't think this is great. His face is still too washed out. So we tried fixing it with the brightness, and I could go back up here and pull it down a little more so it's still not as bright. But I can also try some of these other black and white effect presets. Some of them might have more tone in them. So if I try this one, you can see immediately that his face has more tone. It's not as washed out, so it looks much better. So for that clip that I isolated by splitting it, I'm just going to apply a different black and white filter to it. I'll still leave the brightness on it the way I set it, pulling it down some so it's not as bright, and that's going to help overall. And that is how we add visual effects and themes to our project and to our clips in Movie Maker. In the next video, we're going to talk about working with type, how to add titles and captions to our project.